Yo, what's up? This your boy EC22 of the FairWeather Fan channel, man. Listen, we're in for another live podcast. Before we go any further, man, please like, subscribe, share, leave comments, join the conversation. I'll greatly appreciate it. But yo, listen here, we're in for a podcast. Listen, real quick, before I go any further, I want to, and I have to address it because I talked about it a few weeks ago, so I got to go ahead and say it. I came out on an earlier podcast and talked about the P. Diddy situation, saying that before we speculate, we don't know the facts. Well, y'all, the facts are in. P. Diddy did it. P. Diddy, he did it. He did it, he did it, he did it. And yeah, he is guilty as charged, man. Oh, God, you guys seen the video. Ain't no sense of me showing it right now. That's bad. And the sad reality of it all is that this is not the only time he's done something like this. Obviously, when you get a person that does that type of stuff, they're comfortable doing it. And his apology speech was definitely scripted and completely narcissistic, in my opinion, because he came on and he said he offered an apology, but then he turned around and he said he's not asking for forgiveness. He said he wanted to ask God for grace and mercy. To hope that this situation don't cost him his career, but I'm sorry, Mr. Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, you did it. Listen, it's over. You know how the council culture is. You already know what it's about. So your career is over. Nobody's going to fool with you. Hopefully you'll get the help that you need. Hopefully that you will seek out a relationship with God and become a better person. But as far as what we know with you in hip hop, it's over. Anyway, moving on to the podcast today. Y'all, listen, I won't be before you long, obviously, because I'm by myself. But, man, we got a few things to really talk about. Just want to kind of throw some stuff out there real quick. Listen, professional boxing. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the fight the other day between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. That's how you say his name. Alexander Usyk. Came down to a split decision. Man, no, the interesting about this fight, I mean, obviously they're going to rematch, but the interesting about this fight, that since 1999, this is the first time that the heavyweight division has completely been unified with one person having all belts in all four divisions. But the sad part about it is that it won't last so long. IBF has decided to strip Alexander Usyk of his championship belt because he is committed to a rematch with Tyson Fury. I don't even know what that's about, but it is what it is. So for a short while, we had a unification belt when it came down to a unification title when it came down to heavyweight division, but they're going to vacate that title. And there's a couple other guys going to box for it, whatever. And then who knows what's going to happen after the Tyson, the Fury, and Alexander Usyk fight number 2. So we're going to see what happens with that. But y'all, PGA, this is something I really, really want to dive into right now. I know some of you guys who watch this podcast may not be into golf like I am. I love the game. I love watching it. And I actually love playing it. Actually, I just came off the golf course not too long ago. And this Scotty Scheffler, how did Scotty Scheffler get out of jail too soon? Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's the situation, folks. Listen, Scotty Scheffler right now is the number 1 golfer in the world, at least in the U.S. Hey, well, I can say the world. He's the number 1 golfer in the world. And they had the championship, PGA Championship tournament out in Illinois, Kentucky. Not Illinois. Where was it at? In Louisville, Kentucky, at the Valhalla Golf Course. So Friday morning, which is round 2 of the tournament, around about 5:00 a.m., one of the volunteers for the tournament got hit by a bus. Condolences goes out to him and his family. Got hit by a bus, and obviously they had to shut everything down for investigation. That was around about 5:00. Around 6:00, Scotty Scheffler shows up because he had a 10:00 tee time, 10:08 to be exact. He showed up around about 6:00, and from his side, they say that he was waved through because he had a car with credentials in it. He needed to go ahead and get through. But this wasn't like any normal traffic. This was a crime investigation, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody got hit. There was a death on the scene, so everything was shut down. But to Scotty's knowledge, he thought he was being waved through, but actually the cops were telling him to stop. And he went on through, and then a police officer allegedly jumped in front of the car or attached himself to the car, whatever they meant. And then Scotty drugged him for about a couple of feet and before he came to a stop. They took him out the car, arrested him. And so about 7:28 a.m., he was booked into the Metro Community Jailhouse. Now, the main charge is a second degree assault on a police officer, which is a felony. Then, of course, he got disturbing, reckless driving and all this stuff like that. Other things that were misdemeanor. But listen, third degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and that was what he got, reckless driving. But the main one was the second degree assault on a police officer, which is a felony. Around 8 o'clock, 7:28, he was booked into the Metro Correction Facility in Louisville, Kentucky. But 8:40, he was released. Y'all, this is crazy. And back at the course at 9:15, a little over an hour and 20 some odd minutes, he was released from jail after being charged with a felony. I have some problems with this. Now, I'm not suggesting that Scottie Shefflin is a criminal, but at the end of the day, he did a criminal act. And I don't know if there was a misunderstanding about what actually took place. Was the cop really in his feelings a little bit as far as how he handled the situation? But nevertheless, he was charged with a felony. And somehow, even with charged with felony, he was out of jail less than 2 hours. That just don't happen. That is unusual. Even the lawyers that's been speaking out said this is completely unusual for a person to be let out of jail this quick. And they was talking about some things. Maybe there was a standby judge or whatever, a deputy judge, whatever, that stand by that they expedited this situation. But no. Even with his bond was supposed to be coming up for this Tuesday, which was today, but they pushed it back until next week or until June sometime with a felony charge. I don't mean this the way it sounds, but I mean it the way it sounds, y'all. There's something to say about privilege. I don't know if it's white privilege. I don't know if it's athlete privilege or being the number one golfer in the world privilege to where you can get yourself out. Because the man had a 10:08 tee time, and they did not stop the show. He was there to be able to tee off at his tee time. That is crazy. That was at the PGA Championship over in Louisville, Kentucky. But speaking of the PGA Championship, let's give it up to the winner of the PGA Championship, Xander Schauffele. Xander Schauffele won the PGA tournament, man. It was an awesome tournament. I don't know if you guys watch golf like I do, but I love it. It came down to the wire. The second place winner was second place. The second place was Bryson DeChambeau. It came down to that last hole, which was a par 5, and Xander did his thing on that. Moving on to the WNBA, I want to talk about Caitlin Clark once again. We talked about it last week. We're going to talk about it a little bit again today. And the question is simply this: will she or can she be the face of the WNBA? I want to say this before I get into my opinion about that. Y'all, it's too soon. The girl has been catching a lot of flack about her performance and about all this stuff. Y'all, it's too soon. She's only played 3 games, I believe, or 3 or 4 games, I believe. And listen, she's on a bad team. She's currently right now the leading scorer on that squad, and that's a bad team. She expected to turn that team around. Y'all, listen, that type of stuff just don't happen on a rookie. I'm sorry. Give her a couple of years. I think she'll be all right. Once she get the feet wet, once she understand the speed of the WNBA and the talent that she has to go up against every single night and understand how it works. But I think she's going to need some new players and a new coach. So the question is, can she be or will she be the face of the WNBA? It seems like the WNBA is pushing that narrative for her to be the face of the WNBA. Can she be it? I think she got the talent. It's all left to be seen. If she continues to improve, especially the way she shoots the ball, then yeah, she'll definitely be the face of the WNBA, and it is what it is until somebody come and dethrone her. But we're going to see. But I just want to say once again, y'all give her a break. Now, I know that I talk bad about Caitlin because sometimes she got a little bit of more fanfare than some of the other young ladies that came out of the league, but that came out of college. I get all that. But right now, y'all are doing the poor young lady wrong. She's a rookie, and she's the best player on that squad. Give her a break. All right, let's moving on from that. Listen, real quick. NBA Western Conference Finals is set. The Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Dallas Mavericks. Y'all, listen, if you didn't watch the semis of the Western Conference Final, y'all, it was crazy. The Timberwolves did that thing against the Denver Nuggets, went all the way down to a game 7, and somehow, some way, the Denver Nuggets just decided they didn't want to show up. Had a big lead, but that didn't make any. They didn't care. They didn't care. They lost the lead. And goddamn Timberwolves did that thing, sent the reigning champions home. So we're going to get to see a new finals person being crowned this year. The Dallas Mavericks did their thing in 6 games against the Oklahoma City Thunder, is what we all predicted. Go back and rewind the tape, y'all. We've all said it, that the Dallas Mavericks will win in 6, and God dog it, they did their thing. No, did they win in 6? They won in 7. Oh, they won in 6. They won in 6. I'm sorry. Yeah, on the last second shot. I mean, well, not last second, but last second free throws, they won. So anyway, Mavs is 6. They did their thing, and so they think their championship gets started tomorrow. I think Pacers and the Knicks get started today. I believe I'm going to take the Mavericks in this series. I think the Mavericks defense is going to really, really do something, going to bother the Timberwolves. So that's my thoughts on that. Moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. Oh my God, the New York Knicks wasn't healthy. They just wasn't healthy. Not that we're making excuses for a professional basketball team, because always the next man up, but at the end of the day, they didn't have all their guns. Jalen Brunson got hurt during the game, and they just couldn't seem to pull it through. But good job, Indiana Pacers, for making it against the Boston Celtics. Y'all, the Celtics has only lost 2 games this series, this particular round of so far. And I believe that somehow, some way, the Pacers are going to pull out 2 wins against the Celtics. Maybe one away and 1 home game, I think they'll win. So I got the Celtics in 6 on this one. And then, of course, I got the Mavs and the Celtics, and we'll talk about that once the series is over, who we got for the finals, because I got to see if I'm right. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, that's all I have for you today. Like I said, it's a quick podcast, man. Join us over on the top of the hour with Face Sports Talk Radio with your boy Louis Mefford, the professor, and over with Coach Martez Turner and Officer Tawakoni TJ Claiborne. But y'all, this your boy EC22, man. Stand by till next week. We'll be here. I may have a guest with me next week, so hey, jump in next week, 6 o'clock. We'll be right back. But get your popcorns ready for the top of the hour for Faith Sports Talk Radio. Yo, and this boy EC22, and I'm out.